Okay, class, so I am teacher Darren, and my pronouns are going to be Z, zer, zers, and zerself.
What are we, making up words now?
So that's how you will address me? Yes.
So what about she, her, hers, herself? That's what we know.
Yes, but I am gender neutral, so I am not a female nor am I a male. I would be in between.
That doesn't make sense.
Of course it doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. That is the whole point of this silly little exercise we're all being forced to live through. And I know I've said it before, but it's worth repeating. Demoralization, division, and ultimately destabilization. If you keep that in mind when you watch these teachers teach the kids about their new pronouns instead of math, science, and English, then all the pieces of the puzzle start to come together. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I have a pretty crazy Clown World update for you guys today, and as usual, we have absolutely no time to waste, so let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment, here we have a post from the subreddit, Transgender Surgeries. Now, we have a picture here with the caption, FFS. Now, I've showed that caption before on different pictures, and I know some of you guys in the comments say, well, doesn't that mean for sake? And you might think that in your mind when you first see this picture, but no, that's not what it means. It stands for Facial Feminization Surgery, FFS, Facial Feminization Surgery, 3.5 years HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. So, there's that.
You know, you've always been real big on telling me that my face doesn't matter, but it does, doesn't it?
All right, let's keep this party rolling with this person who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and is going to tell us which 3 movies are secretly transphobic. Now, I'll give you a hint. They are 3 movies that we here at this channel are very familiar with. Can you guess? Can you guess? Let's see if you guessed them right. Roll it.
Let's count down 3 movies that are secretly transphobic. In the first Austin Powers, Austin punches a woman seemingly without any reason. It's eventually revealed that the woman isn't a woman, but actually a man.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
And while the movie justifies it by making this person a henchman in disguise, you have to ask yourself, why did Austin punch them in the first place? Because the only information that Austin had was that this person appeared transgender, it implies that all trans people are villains, and that is not cool, baby. Moving on to number 2, Silence of the Lambs. You remember Buffalo Bill with his lotion in the basket?
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
One of the first times we meet Buffalo Bill, he's doing very creepy things like kidnapping people. But at the same time, the movie shows him putting on lipstick and wearing women's clothes. The movie is drawing a parallel between these 2 things like they go hand in hand, when in reality, they couldn't be less related. And saving the worst for last, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. At the end of the movie, it's revealed that the police chief is not only the main villain of the story, but also a trans woman. As soon as Jim Carrey reveals this information to a room full of police officers,
She's a man.
everyone starts gagging. Once again, the movie is drawing a parallel between being evil and being trans. And in this movie in particular, it's suggested that trans people are out to trick you or out to hurt you, and we're not. We're just out here trying to live our normal lives and be happy.
That's a damn lie and you know it!
How'd you guys do? Were you able to guess the 3 transphobic movies before that person gave us the answers? Anyway, next up, here we have another person who claims that parents shouldn't have rights and that parents aren't experts in kids and blah, blah, blah. When I hear somebody talk like this, it raises all the red flags. It makes me wonder if the authorities should maybe go check this person's hard drive, if you know what I'm saying. Roll it.
Parents always have a right to choose what kids are exposed to and taught about the complex topics.
My response to this is actually pretty straightforward. They oughtn't. If they do, they shouldn't. Parents aren't experts in children. It seems weird to say this, but like anybody who has come from an abusive home knows that. Anybody who's come from parents who are not good at it knows that. Even anybody who comes from decent parents who made meaningful mistakes that left an impression knows that. Like, I don't understand this weird, rabid insistence that parents are experts on children. Because unless you have been trained in child psychology, child developmental phases, physiology, you're not. You don't know. You're just making guesses based upon what your parents did, which, how'd they do?
What the is this guy talking about?
So, according to that gentleman who doesn't sound too thrilled with the way his parents raised him, people shouldn't have kids unless they go to university and get some kind of degree in child psychology or something. Oh, make it make sense. Anyway, next up, excuse me. Next up, this is exactly what happens when you affirm these people. When they tell you there's something and you say, okay, whatever you say you are, this is exactly what happens. This person claims to be a 3-year-old child living in a DID system in someone's head. This is what happens. This is the outcome. Rant over. Roll it.
I'm 3 and I'm female. Mia's my mommy and Rachel is Rachel's my twin sister. My favorite color is purple. I'm a fear holder. I'm part of the shifting city subsystem. I'm fine with nicknames. A lot of people call me Lily or Lils. Those are fine. This is who helps me to feel safe when I'm out here. I like snuggling with him a lot. I think that's all. Bye.
Wow! The land of make-believe!
Alright, next up we have this clip of Robin DiAngelo. Now, if you're not sure who Robin DiAngelo is, she is the author of the book White Fragility and a big proponent of critical race theory. Now, a lot of these white liberal women, like Robin DiAngelo, are blatant racists. And they feel kind of bad about it. Not really, but a little bit. So they want to make it sound like all white people are racist. Not just them. Roll it.
Yeah, well, first let me just say I think all white people's households are racist because we're in a racist society. So I don't actually think I'm any less or more racist than anyone else. And that includes Donald Trump. Right? Yeah. Like, there's nothing that comes out of his mouth that he's not speaking a foreign language. I recognize what he says. I was raised in the same culture. There's a difference between us in that he amplifies and embraces, and I seek to challenge and interrupt. But it's not useful for me to point my finger at him and then exempt myself.
Oh, shut up, silly woman.
All right, since the season of fall is upon us and Halloween is quickly approaching, we have none other than the lesbian Snow White here to teach us how to use pumpkin spice pronouns. You think I'm kidding? I'm not f***ing kidding. Roll it.
Today I'm going to show you how to use pumpkin spice pronouns in sentences, so let's go! Pumpkin spice pronouns? Oh my goodness, I love pumpkin spice so much. Azul, do you like pumpkin spice?
No. I love pumpkin spice.
Exactly. And if you're like, pumpkin spice pronouns, what are you talking about? This lady is crazy. Well, first of all, I'm not a lady. It's better not to assume somebody's gender, but I understand why you would, because we've been conditioned to do so, right? I do like to use the pronoun gal. I do like to call my wife, but that does not mean that we like other terms. Anyway, what are neopronouns? Well, here's a little definition that I hope can help in some type of way. I hope to help, but remember, even if it doesn't, you do not need to understand something in order to respect it. And that is the most important lesson I think I've ever learned in my life. But anyway, here's how to use pumpkin spice pronouns in sentences. Oh wait, it's not pumpkin spice together. So it'd be like a separation. So you can either use pumpkin or spice pronouns. It would look like this in 2 different categories. You can use either set. Sometimes it depends on the day. Sometimes you're just trying things out. Sometimes it just works together and that's what you want. But the person will let you know, I promise, so don't worry about it. Pumpkin inspires me every day. Spice loves and accepts every bit of Spice's queerness. I actually love that.
That is the stupidest thing I ever heard of. Jesus Christ.
All right, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen for your viewing pleasure, of course. Oh my. My. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by our good friend from Long Beach, Kathy B. Kathy, trust me, I know things are tough out there with Bidenomics, so thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. Kathy B from Long Beach is today's video sponsor. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, for everyone's benefit, can we please get this off the screen now?
It's funny because he's fat.
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip that is actually a perfect example of what kind of circus this whole thing is. I don't know if you guys heard, but recently the Biden administration decided that they are going to build a border wall. Imagine that. However, they are sticking to the claim that they made when they first got into the White House that border walls don't work. But they're going to build one anyway. They think we're a bunch of damn fools. Anyway, so here we have former Vice President Joe Biden's diversity hire publicist, Karine Jean-Pierre, trying to make it make sense. Anyway, guys, things are clearly getting crazy out there, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it!
If the border wall's ineffective, why is the Homeland Security Secretary saying that it's necessary to prevent unlawful entries into the United States?
I have not seen that full statement. I know. I hear you. I'm just saying I have not seen his full statement on that. What I can speak to is for the president. The president's been very clear that he doesn't believe it's effective. He answered that question of your colleague. That's what I can speak to. That's what we're going to talk about. And we've actually said there are smarter ways and more effective ways in dealing with this.
And you ain't black.